Hey, everybody. Hope you had a good Monday, first day of your week. It's hot, so I'm hiding from the heat. I'm in the basement, hiding from the heat. Normally, I'm in the basement. I'm sitting by the wood stove in the winter. I'm just hiding from the heat outside today. It has been so hot and so humid, and it looks kind of stormy. Maybe we'll get a thunderstorm that'll cool things off. I'm not sure if we will or not, though, but it is just so humid outside. I knew I didn't want to sit out there. So I come to hide in the basement. Hopefully, Matt will join me here in a few minutes. I hope he will. Hope all of you've had a good day, though, your first day of the week. Hope you had a good weekend. We did. We've had a whole string full of days with no rain, so the gardens have really, really enjoyed it. They may be getting dry if this terrible heat continues, but so far they're doing good, and the dry weather has really helped them because we just had so much rain, so much rain. So we've enjoyed the sunshine, even though today got really, really hot. Me and Matt got up early this morning and tackled the yard. We weed eated, and I think here comes Matt. Maybe is he coming to sit with us? Weed eated. He was finishing up the supper dishes for me, cleaning up for me. There you are. Are you in? Are you in it? Am I going the wrong way? I'm going the wrong way there. Maybe that's better. So anyway, we got up early this morning to try to beat the heat, to weed eat and mow, and we got it done. It was just getting really hot. I mean, we beat the worst part of it. What time we were done before 10 o'clock? We was done before that because Katie had by about 9 o'clock. Yeah, we were done by about 9 o'clock.
It was too hot to suit me when I got up.
Yeah, that's true. It was true. My weed eater, I have the only one I can use is like a little electric one that you charge the batteries, and it does pretty good. It doesn't do as good as, like, Matt wouldn't use it unless he had to, would you?
No.
He likes the big heavy duty one, but for some reason today mine just would not. I just kept having the string come out, and then the string totally run out. That's why it was coming out. It would come out of one of its little holes. I'd have to take it to Matt, and then it totally run out. So then had to get Matt to get a new little cartridge and put in it, and then it did that on it. I was getting into some rocks and weeds and stuff, I think, and I was like, I'm done with that. I'm not going to ask Matt one more time to fix it. So then I just got the mower and started mowing, but I was having usually that doesn't happen, but I just had to keep going back to Matt and keep going back to Matt. So, but we got it done finally.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. The yard looks so nice now and neat. And it was pretty high, wasn't it?
It about got away from us again.
Yeah, all that rain was really making it grow, just like it's made our gardens grow, but it's also made all of the weeds grow and everything. It looks kind of stormy out there, Matt. Are we going to get a storm? If we do, we may lose you. Maybe it'll wait till after that.
I was afraid we was going to get copperhead bit feeding the chickens.
Yeah.
It was getting pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what you meant for a minute. Yeah, it was getting pretty weedy out there. It was starting to look pretty bad. You see any storms around us? There's a little bit of rain there.
Yeah, just a little speck.
Just a little. It must just be what I'm seeing. It's storming near Cherokee now.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
that way.
Yeah, that way where I'm seeing the darkness, but probably done past us for sure. And if it's that far, I mean, that one has. Maybe there's more coming or more popping up the way they do. So we had a good weekend too. They just go by fast.
Mm-hmm.
Corey and Austin had to go on a little trip, so we had Olive.
Yeah.
Had Olive.
Your favorite
It's
thing.
my favorite thing is to have Olive. So we had Olive. No, she's no trouble. She goes into deep, dark depression when they leave. So she misses them so bad.
Yeah, it's like having a mopey little 2-year-old.
Yeah, she's
just so sad.
She misses them, but they're back. So and then when they come back, she goes crazy because she's so happy to see them.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. Yeah. Let's see. I got lots of wisdom. Y'all left some wonderful, wonderful wisdom. Let me tell you this prayer request, and then I'll tell you some other stuff. Thank you so much to everybody that's been praying for everybody else. I've been reading your comments and praying for you, and I know y'all pray for one another. That's such a beautiful, wonderful thing, and I appreciate it and appreciate you praying for Janice and Wendy and Lily. But and some of it, Kathy, and some of our other viewers that Wendy and well, I mentioned Wendy, Sandra, and Kat, and Kathy, and Kimberly, and lots of other people that have asked prayer requests. Norman Chester, he's asked for us to pray for him. Sarah Posey, she was a local lady, but this was from Linda. Said, I'm asking your family there and your online family to pray for my sister Jane. She's just suffered a bad stroke. This is the fourth in recent months. She was airlifted to a hospital in Dothan, Alabama from Florida. She is 90 and has many medical issues. I'm in Oklahoma and cannot be with her because of my own ongoing current health problems. I truly need other prayer warriors to join me in this request. God is good and prayer is powerful. Thank you. So you can remember. I would say remember Linda and Jane. Remember both of them, please, in prayer, and keep praying one for another. That's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. One thing I wanted to mention about last week in one of my videos, the raspberry trifle. So many of you said, Tipper, what you need to do, because I had this horrible accident with the flour and the mixer. Said, I had it all over me. I had it everywhere. Said, you need a guard for your mixer and you can buy them. Well, one come with the mixer. I just didn't use it. So I made something today, and you can better believe I used the guard. I put it on there.
How'd it work?
It worked great.
Good.
So my other mixer had a guard like that, and maybe I used it once or twice, but then I just didn't, it never done that. It's just, even though it's the same brand of mixer, I guess something has slightly changed or something. So I never used my guard with my old mixer, but all of you who told me that, I had one, I was just not smart enough to use it. So I used it today though, for sure. I used it today. So a lot of you in the comments there have been telling us congratulations on 300,000 subscribers. We can't hardly believe it, can we?
An awful lot of people.
We can't believe it. We're so blessed and so wonderful that many people want to help us celebrate Appalachia. Thank y'all so much, all of you. Your support just means the world to us. We were truly blessed by each of you. And this morning, it's funny, me and Matt had our little, usually about every Monday morning, we have a little meeting and talk about the week and what's coming up and what we need to do and all that. And we talked about doing a video. We knew it was getting close. And so I looked this morning, Matt, and we still had, I don't know, how many was it? We wasn't right at it, in other words, maybe 50 or something,
Yeah,
something like that. And I said, well, if we got that by the end of the week, then we might be able to do that video. We were kind of making our plans. But this evening, I was going over checking comments when I sat down for a minute, and Sainer, who's been with us forever, was congratulating us. Hey, Corey. There's Corey. Was congratulating us. So I was like, really? So I went and looked. I was like, oh, my goodness, Matt, it's already at 300,000. And we thought it would take another day or two, but it didn't. So that's really good. We're really excited. And so be looking for a video. We might do a video and talk about it, maybe share some of our favorite videos, maybe the ones we didn't like at all or something. I don't know, share something about it so you can be looking for that this week. What else are we going to do this week? Well, we filmed a video. That was one reason I was kind of a little bit late, was our supper tonight. So sharing a really easy summertime recipe. So you can look out for that. It's delicious.
That's part of why I was late getting down here. I was still nibbling on it up there.
Matt was still eating on it, and he cleaned up the kitchen for me too. But it's really delicious and really, really simple and easy. And we had, it's a zucchini pie, but it's a savory pie. But we had a salad, and that's plenty for me if you just have that. But Matt wanted some deer meat, so we also had some deer meat with it. So deer meat and that, and the salad was delicious.
Deer meat's good for any occasion.
And I made peanut butter cookies, so that was good. Made some peanut butter cookies. All that was really good. But we can't believe, I'm just like 300,000 people. We are just so blessed, and we're so thankful to all of you. Oh, I see now. Katie says it's Katie, LOL. I always think it's Corey. Sorry, Katie. Sorry, Corey. Corey will probably be on here in a minute, but sorry, Katie. I thought you was Corey. We do have some egg separators. I finally got some more egg separators from Rob. So if you've been waiting on one, let me find the link here. And I hope to have some more mugs before long. Of course, you can find our cookbook in there and CDs from Pap and Paul and all that too. So you can find those in there. If you missed out on the egg separators, I have a few more now. And I wanted to share Paul's songs from last week too. The first one he did, This Time I Would Know, is like for the old timey song that he played last week, or video that he shared. And I just messed it up. I don't know what I'm doing. It's the Browns. If you remember the Browns, they had beautiful harmony. So it's a song that he learned from them, and he talks about it at the beginning of it. It's a real pretty song, though. They did have such beautiful harmony. That family harmony is just hard to beat. And then the other one was one that he wrote for his original. And I really like it. And I mean, I like all the ones he does, though. Who am I kidding? But you have to go listen to it, because Granny says it's her favorite song that Paul's wrote. And he's wrote a lot of songs, so that's Granny's favorite. And it's not really a love song. When you first read When We Were Only 16, you think about, oh, well, that's like, falling in love when you're young. It's not really a love song. It's really a song about thinking about the people you knew when you're 16, like your friends and stuff. So, immediately when I hear it, my mind goes back to high school and the people that I run around with in those days that I don't see at all, any of them today. And, even make you think of people that maybe you were friends with or acquaintances with in those days, but you ain't seen them in 30 years. You don't even know what happened to them. So anyway, it's a really nice song, and really, I think it has a beautiful melody to it, just real soft, and it really does make you think about things, though. And it's Granny's favorite, so you gotta go hear Granny's favorite one that Paul wrote. I've got a fly, Matt. You need to kill it. Need to get the fly.
How's that?
There you go. I don't think you got it, though. I think you just scared it off. And Paul, on Sunday, a lot of you, if you follow Doyle Dykes, you already know this. His Sunday string along, he invited Paul to be his guest on it. So Paul and then Doyle's son Caleb, who's friends with Paul, been playing a lot of music with Paul the last few months. They were part of Doyle's string along, and it's really great. I mean, it's just really, all of Doyle's is great. I love all of them, but Paul sounds really great on it. Of course, Doyle and Caleb can play the guitar like nobody's business, so that's great. And it's just got a real good feel to it. And in that Sunday string along, Doyle's always got a little message, and he talks about being an encourager, how we can be an encourager to other people. And he certainly is that. And then he talks, about Paul being a teacher and then a principal, and then, now he's retired, but the things he does now, and he just, he's saying that he believes Paul is an encourager, that he's called to do that. And I believe he is too. He's great at that. But it reminded me, and I ain't even got a chance to tell Paul this. I seen him Sunday, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him more than a few minutes. But reminds me of when Daddy died, and we were at the church, and people was going through the line, and there were so many people that come, which we knew it would be like that. Daddy was a very popular person, that people was even parked across the highway, parking alongside the road. The parking lot was full. Anyway, we had to stand there a long time, didn't we?
Yeah.
But talking to everybody was wonderful. But there was a lady who, from our church, who I've known my whole life. Sure she can remember when I was born, probably. Anyway, but she told me, she said, your daddy was a good friend and a good man and a good part of the church. But she said, you know what he really was? He was an encourager. She said he had an encouraging word for anybody and everybody, always. That's what he was, an encourager. Mm-hmm. And of course, when she told me that, it made me cry even more. But it made me too thinking, I want to be that. I want to be an encourager. I want to be like Daddy was. I want to be an encourager. So that's what Doyle's little message made me think of and agree with, that it's so important for us to encourage each other. And so many of you do that to each other. We read the comments, so we see y'all talking back and forth to each other, and you certainly do it to us. And we really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So check out the string along and Paul's other songs too. So now we've got some wisdom, and then we'll try to chat some with you. So I had two wisdoms from my blog, Blind Pig and the Acorn. Actually, I've got three, but I'll start with these. So this one was from Juanita. For your words of wisdom collection, one you may have heard a few times, waste not, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. I bet you've heard that one.
Oh, yeah, a whole lot.
Growing up, that was lived out. Now we live in a throwaway world, which sadly can often apply to people, not just things. So thank you, Juanita, for sharing that one. It's a good one. Even the ones we know, it's good to remember them and focus on them. And this was from Ron. Ron on the blog said, this was last week's song from Paul about Hunker Down, which is such a good song. I love that song. But Ron said, you remind me of a saying of my dad's. When he talked of hunkering down, he would say, like a frog in a hailstorm. I've never seen a frog in a hailstorm, but I can easily envision how they would act. They would hunch their shoulders, tuck their chin, and tough it out without a sound. A man wants to always feel he has some reserve he can call on that is enough to meet whatever life demands. And the very best one for any and all times is the Good Shepherd. As that other Paul wrote, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The truth of that has been testified to over and over throughout recorded history. So I really like Ron's daddy's saying, hunker down like a frog in a hailstorm. So he's right. You can imagine a frog. It would just curl its shoulders and sit there silently waiting it out, you know. So both of those are really great. I'm so glad y'all just continue to leave wonderful, wonderful bits of wisdom. I love it. So this one was from Connie. Connie says, I always heard the saying that can't never could, and he's the brother of I don't want to. We need to remember that one for the boys.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Edna said, words of wisdom, live and learn, then learn to live. Keep up the good work. That's a good one too, Edna. That's a good way to look at it, and it's so true. Carbler, I don't know, I'm probably not saying that right. Carbler, and I can't see the rest of it. Not the sharpest tool in the tool shed is one I frequently use. We were talking about funny sayings, I think, on that video too. Kim says, kind of an odd bit of wisdom, but my dad always told me it doesn't cost any more to keep the top half of the gas tank full than it does the bottom half. He didn't want me to run out of gas. Worth noting, Dad owned and ran Sunco gas stations. Kim, I love that because that was one of Pap's really wisdom that he thought we should live by, me and Paul and Steve, and they probably done better at it than me. Never go home that you don't have plenty of gas. Like, don't drive home. Don't go past the gas station unless you have plenty of gas. And he'd say, because, and of course, back then there wasn't many. Now today, I guess there's stations even in Murphy that's open all night. I don't know, it's like Walmart or something. You can use the pumps even though nobody's there. But back then there wasn't nothing like that. And he'd say, because you never know when something might happen in the middle of the night and you'd have to go somewhere. You'd have to start out on a trip. You know, you just don't never do that. Well, Steve and Paul probably listened to him, but I didn't. And often he might get in my car to move it or something and be like, Tipper, your car's on empty. You need to get some gas. I know, Daddy. So I really love that one. Let's see. This is from Living Fully. Words of wisdom. You can get glad in the same pants you got mad in.
Right. That's a good one.
That's another one we need to remember for the boys.
I've heard that.
This is BJH862. You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. You can't get blood out of a turnip, meaning go ahead and sue me. I don't have anything. I've heard both of those. Those are good ones. Pete said, my dad always said we were so poor we couldn't pay attention. I like that one a lot. Oh, that's good. Paris said, we went to visit family in Florence, South Carolina in 2006, and my dad, born in 1950, complained to my great aunt Peggy Haywood, saying, I'm just bored. Mean way, just matter of fact, and leading by example. I've never forgotten that. Who does that remind you of? Don't that sound like Miss Cindy, what she would say? That sounds exactly like what Miss Cindy would say. I've never been bored a day in my life. That's a good reminder, though, that there's always things we can do. We can help others, and then there's just always things we can do. So on this one, usually I try to save, like click on it so I can see the whole name, but I did not do that. So it's a beautiful little butterfly as the avatar, a blue butterfly, and then S. So that's all I know. But my mom used to say birds of a feather flock together when I wanted to be friends with someone she thought was bad. She also said, you are known by the company you keep. When I would go to visit her, she would say, well, look what the cat drug in. Come in if your nose is clean. She was spunky, and I miss her every day. That come in if your nose is clean. I had a dear friend, and she would, Mary Lou McKillop, and she had to move to Texas. Her and her husband moved to Texas, but she was from our area, from Marble. She was about Pap's age, and she's still living, so she's very elderly. But she said her mother would say that. So she grew up in Marble, just up the road from us, and she would say, if somebody knocked on the door, she'd say, is your nose clean? If it is, you can come in. So that's a really old saying, I know. This is from Doug. When I was young and would complain about having to work in the garden, my grandmother would always say, many hands make light work. She would also say, when us kids would get into fights and arguments, he who forgives first ends the quarrel. That's a good one, too. I like the many hands make light work. I've used that one. This is from Life with Nana. His cornbread ain't done in the middle is something I heard from my aunt. I like that one. Matt likes that one, I know. This is from XIANTHE. I don't know how to say it. You watch our videos, though, and we really appreciate you. But always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. That's a good one. And forgiving them helps you, too. But always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. I really love that. Xantha, maybe that's how you say it. Rita says, or this, never bite off more than you can chew. That's true. Lisa said, my mama used to say the phrase poor as a snake when someone was too thin, and I'd say poor as Job's turkey when I didn't have money, or broke as a convict, LOL. I've heard those too, hadn't you? Those are good ones. Yeah, those are good ones, Lisa. Maddie Ann, our friend Maddie Ann, says, my mother taught us that if you couldn't say something nice, don't say anything at all. That just is so true. And if you can make yourself do that, if you can make yourself hold your tongue, it makes you feel better about yourself later on. It really does. Mims said, one saying that my mama used to say is, they ain't got the sense that the good Lord gave a goose. I've heard that one too. This is from our friends at Holman's Homestead. Words of wisdom. Don't know if this one has been said. God is in control, but he doesn't expect you to lean on a shovel and pray for a hole. That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. I like it.
Mary Ann said, my mother used to say, if there were no pig farmers, we'd have no bacon, meaning we're not all cut out for the same thing. That's a good one. Patricia said, Father Tim always said a sigh is a prayer to God. He was the lead character in Jan Karen's Mitford series. If you've never read those books and you like to read, they are really, really good. Jan Karen's, Karon is her last name, and they're the Mitford series. I just love them. Sandra said, my dad always said he ain't playing with a full deck. I've heard that one too. D. Steele said, I also had a psych professor in college that would say, that's a hard frog to swallow when someone told him something he didn't believe. That's a funny one. Ricky says, never look a gift horse in the mouth. Melissa says, most of my wisdoms are not country. My aunts would say, don't toot your own horn. And my mother would come back with a paraphrase of a quote, he that tooteth not his own horn getteth it not tooted. My aunt would dismiss her unmatched buttons on her shirt, her front shirt, by saying, front of her shirt, it'll never be noticed from a galloping horse, i.e., no one will even see it. The aunt had sayings I never heard anywhere else. I just can't think of them now. If something was really awful, she'd say, I wouldn't have that off the Christmas tree. I love that. She must have been very colorful. My mother used to say something I never quite figured out. Act like you know how to act. Did she mean pretend, or did she mean you know how to act? Do it. She would never say.
Right.
I like that one. I like that. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa said, I think that may be the same Melissa. My mother used to tell us, put on a sweater, I'm cold. I like that. It's like when somebody coughs, then I go, I have to help them cough, I have to help them out. Barbara said, can't never could, don't be ugly, are things my granny said. She also called our toys play pretties. Granny would tell us that. And I've actually heard myself say that to Ira, don't be ugly. Now, don't do that. Don't be ugly. This is from Christy. When you talk about the wisdom, I can hear my mom's voice saying, can't never did do nothing. She used that on me a lot. Also, if you lay down with dogs, you'll come up with fleas, meaning be cautious of who you hang around and make good decisions in your friends. My Pa Brown would keep us working if we would say, let's wait until tomorrow to finish, insert getting in wood, carrying water, etc. And he would say, wait's what broke the wagon down. Now go on and get that done. Those are good ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Tina says, my grandmother would say, if its and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. If we complained, but I'm too tired, or if I only had another piece of candy. Mike said, my dad always told me that Kate died in the poorhouse if I told him I couldn't do something. I love all those about Kate. We need to remember those.
Mm-hmm.
Dagwood said, I used to say about a family member, if you could make a living telling the truth, he would starve to death. That's a funny one. Jeep Baby said, my daddy used to say, if it cost a nickel to go around the world, he couldn't get to the city limits. We've been there before, hadn't we, Matt?
Oh, yeah.
Kimberly said, words of wisdom, say what you mean and mean what you say. Just don't say it mean. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Thank you, Kimberly. And Patsy, thank you so much, Patsy. We appreciate you. That's so kind. Thank you. Suzanne said, I've always liked there's no point giving a man a rose to smell after you have cut off his nose. That's a good one. Janet said, my grandmother on my mother's side would always say, in every life, a little rain must fall, meaning that there is not a perfect person, that everyone has problems in their lives, just like you do. And there's nothing wrong with crying a little tear now and then. Everyone has done it. So true on that one. I think this is the last one. Barbara said, getting old ain't fun, but the alternative is worse, not fun at all. So yeah, the alternative. I think that was me and Matt was talking about us getting old. Yeah. So yeah, the alternative is worse than that for sure. Thank y'all so much though for leaving those wonderful words of wisdom. Even the ones like the Kate ones that we've kind of said over and over again. I think that's great. Repetition's how you get them to be in your brain. Rita says, give me flowers while I'm living. I've heard that one. Paul and Pap have a beautiful video on Blind Pig and the Acorn of that beautiful old song, Give Me the Roses While I Live. It's just really, their harmony's perfect on it. It's beautiful. Words of wisdom from Matt, always got to have someone to blame it on. He said that on one of your gardening videos. That's funny. He's probably blamed it on me too.
Yeah.
Tim says, the quieter the man, the more he's seen. I like that. Oh, Robert, thank you very much. You're so kind. Thank you, Robert. It's a cute little graphic there, too. I wish I could give all of y'all a hug. That's really sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Robin says, my pop said if he was picking up gold pieces for a living, he'd starve to death. Apparently about a lazy uncle. Oh, Teresa, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Charmin says, the dentist that I used to work for would say, how do you eat an elephant? His answer was one bite at a time. The thought was to do big jobs one step at a time. I've heard that one before. Lisa says, my hubby said, let Matt go fishing.
That's some wisdom too.
Yeah, you
like
can
that.
go fishing anytime you want to go.
I went the
you're
other
free
day.
to go. You did go the other day, so that's good. Lee says, better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. I like that one.
Yeah.
Tim says, have we ever heard the saying, when the street lights come on, it's bedtime? I have heard that in books and TV and things like that, but we don't have any street lights here, so I never heard it from people around me. Sainer said, Dad said life is for the living when we were mourning his favorite cousin. Dad died 10 days later, and I'm glad he told me that. Oh, yeah, that's so bittersweet, but I'm glad he told you that too. I'm sorry you lost him. Oh, that's good, Susie. Susie Q says, not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. That's pretty wise. That's one of those you got to study on. Yeah, Matt can, Hecktown says Matt can still feel that last fishing trip.
Yep.
Michael says, I like Matt's grab another gear. I think of that often and add, I think it burnt the clutch sometimes. Matt does say that. He's always said that.
Yep.
We didn't even tell you. I put the name. I better say it, or people will be like, why you never talk about it? We didn't tell you what was in our corn. We found out what it was. It was raccoons. It was coons. That's what it was. I guess they're just trying to tear it down because they think maybe some corn will be on it, even though it's not on it yet. It's not even tasseled or tousled, as we would say, not even tasseling yet. But it's coons, and Matt's been relocating them. So how many so far? Three in 3 days. So yeah, that's what it was. It was coons in the corn. So hopefully he'll have them at bay by the time the corn actually does start producing.
I hope so. I hated last year going down there and seeing them, all them ears tore up and the stalks pulled down and the ears eat off of them. That kind of made me angry.
Yeah, made me mad. I about cried one day, didn't I, when we first seen it?
Yep.
I like that. Betty said, I told my mother one time that my sister wasn't normal. She told me normal was just a setting on a washing machine. I like that a lot. Yeah. None of us are normal, really. None of us are.
Nah,
I mean, you think about it. Yeah. Yeah, Matt did. Chaos Unboxing. Matt did say he thought it was coon. He was right. I just was like, no, it couldn't be a coon. There's nothing on them for him to eat. What would they be doing?
Just getting a little anxious, getting a little jump start.
Yeah. Oh, Bradley, thank you so much. That's so kind. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Diane, you're so kind. All of you are so kind. Ooh, there was some big thunder. So if we disappear, you know what it was. If we disappear, that was some big thunder. Let's see. Betty says, Matt, I ate my first Cherokee purple tomato sandwich a few days ago. I was looking today, and ours, we've just got tomatoes everywhere, but none of them even blushing. They're all just still green. Still green.
They hang there real long like that. They'll get put in a jar.
Yeah. Well, we want to get some ripe ones, though.
We do, but I just ain't going to wait that long.
Oh, Arkansas Hillbilly. It was raccoons. It was raccoons is what it was. I just battled a skunk tearing up the yard drilling for grubs. Pattern Sear says took a week, but it's finally gone. Matt's had problem with skunks at his deer camp.
Mm-hmm.
They set up camp under Papaw's camper or something, didn't they?
Yeah, some years ago they did, and they wasn't a bit scared of you.
Oh, Angie, I love that one. Matt, listen to this. One of my favorites is if common sense were lard, some folks wouldn't be able to grease a pan. Now that's a good one. That is awesome. We got to remember that one. That's awesome. Oh, Cindy, I hope you get some better weather for your garden. Oh, Barbara's having fried green tomatoes for lunch tomorrow. That sounds good.
Ooh, sounds real good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Judy. Thank you so much. Have you ever eat a coon? Annie Mae says. Have you
Yes,
ever?
I have.
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad either.
Kelly says, do we get armadillos? We've not until recently, like in the last year or two, maybe 3. And we've not had them in our yard tearing up stuff. But like even on our road, we seen one, just this summer or spring, whatever, run over or somebody run over it. So they are right here. Oh, Marie, thank you so much. Many years ago, I bought a book in the Smokies called Just Talk. It has some awesome slang talk in it. I'll have to look for that one. I've got lots of them in my reference library, but I don't remember that one. I'll have to look for that. Oh, Pen Pal, y'all are so kind. Thank you so much. So much. Thank you so much. Wood Pro, I'm sorry your tomatoes died. I'm sorry about that. Susie says, my dad always said a place for everything and everything in its place. I like that. And most of the time I can do that, but not always. Not always, but most of the time. To a certain extent, at least. Mike says, Appalachia Old Timey Skill says, wake up, Matt.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening to the chatter here.
Arkansas Hillbilly says, I got a good saying. That boy has got more screws loose than a Studebaker. That's a funny one, too.
Yeah.
Oh, Barbara, that would be fun to come to the Storytelling Festival. That would be fun. Hey, Mike. Hope you're well. North Carolina girl, hey to you. Oh goodness, Chaos Unbox and their family just come back and from the mountain cabin from vacation. They saw Mama Bear with 3 cubs.
I seen one. I guess it was last year up here hunting. It had 3 cubs, and that's something you don't. Or I've never seen often. I've seen 1 and 2 cubs, real regular, but I think that's the first time I'd ever seen one with 3.
Yeah. Eric, yeah, Matt's dreaming about teaching the boys all kinds of things.
Yeah, I am. That's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Cindy, I will put that, I think I said that last week, and now I'm thinking I didn't do it, but I will put that description in the description below after this video's over. I'll go find it. It's a blog post about somebody else just telling how to make it. I never did a video on making it. Will you remind me to do that, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put it in the description of this video once we're done, the link to the pepper spray. And I have seen the squash bugs. Oh, I wish they'd go away. And I ain't made my pepper spray, even though we've had these pretty days. I hadn't got it done, but I'm going to make some and be spraying. I've still been putting my horseradish leaves, sticking them all over the place. I do think that's helping some because there's not as many as usual. Of course, it may just be that it's not time for them to be there yet. So I'll have to see. Oh, Jane, I'm sorry. I didn't know that people that there was tornadoes in North Dakota and people that actually died, lost their lives. I'm so sorry. We'll pray for those. Oh, Rachel, that's great. That's so wonderful. Sassy Squatch, I would like to do a book signing somewhere. I've told y'all you have to tell people to invite me, and I'd come do a book signing. I will be at the folk school in August, and I'll tell you more about that. But it'll be some of the events. It'll be like during, I won't be teaching, but I'm going to be kind of their resident artist for the Appalachian Week, and there'll be 3 different nights or days. I don't know if it'll be, if it'll be at night or if it'll be in the late evening. Anyway, that I'll be doing something that will be open to the public. Some of it, of course, will just be for the students there, but I will tell you more about that when I hear all the details of which day. They've not told me which. I know which week it'll be, but which days I would actually be doing like a little presentation that would be open to the public, and you could come to that at the John C. Campbell Folk School. John says you're a trooper. Give that man a popsicle or something.
I'll go along with that.
I gave him some peanut butter cookies before we come down here.
That's kind of what I was nibbling on because I was late down here, was cookies.
Yeah, I figured that. Cindy, I don't know if we could come all the way to South Alabama or not. The only way we could do that is probably if there was money. I mean, a place to stay and all that kind of stuff. Sassy, I would. I'd love to do another one at Mass General in Hendersonville. If they wanted me, I sure would. I'd love to. Y'all could call and ask them and tell them. They were very nice. Every Mass General store we went to was so nice. The people that worked in them were just so nice. And we went to lots of them, if y'all remember, if you were watching us during that time. And they were just so, so nice. Every store the people that worked there just treated us so kindly and made sure we had everything. Did we need this? Some of them even fed us. They were just so nice. So yeah, sure, we'd love to go back. Susie Q, thank you for telling us that. We love the True Grit Appalachian channel. That's the sweetest family ever. They are so, so sweet, and they're so knowledgeable too about the things they do. We really like them. If y'all have not watched them, you should go watch them. It's True Grit Appalachian. Oh yeah, that would be great, Sandy. Well, good, Sassy. Get them. Tell them that people that not to. What was the quote we said? Not to toot my own horn, but every book signing we had was really successful with a lot of people coming. So they come to see me and Jim, but I'm sure they also, some of those people purchased some stuff from the Mass General stores too. Of course, they bought the cookbook from them, but I mean, they probably done some other shopping. So it was really, really nice. Barbara, yes. Have we been to the original Mass General store? We did. We had a sign in there too, and it was so nice. That's where I got to meet the Holmans. They come to that one, and I got to meet them. Beautiful, beautiful area of North Carolina that I'd never been to. So beautiful. We had one that day. We had 2. We had one in Boone at the one there in town, and then we went to the original. And Matt got a wonderful Christmas present from there.
Sure did.
Yeah, I bought Matt, spent more than I would usually spend, but I just seen it and just knew that he would adore it, and he does and uses it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Used it, 2 days ago.
It's like a little hatchet. Is that what you'd call it? I called it a hatchet.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like a little tactical tomahawk type of thing, but it's got a set of what I think are like curly maple scales on it. It's all one piece, almost like a full tang knife, but it has wooden scales on either side of it, and super sharp little thing. And it's small. It's got a little 8-inch handle on it, and you could almost put it in your pocket. And it's got a little Kydex sheath, and it's fantastic. I could skin a squirrel with it, I believe.
Mm-hmm. What's the Winkler? Is that it?
Yeah, it's called a Winkler Hunter's Axe, I believe is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Kat, thank you so much. You're so kind. Thank you, Kat. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. Thank you. Is it a real skinny blade? Ken says.
Yeah, it's a pretty skinny little bladed thing. And they make other sizes, and they make knives and all. I mean, they make some pretty cool stuff. But that's the only thing of theirs I've had.
Oh, Peter, thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Jewel, we will try to show the chickens sometimes. We kind of have explained about this before. We have showed them some, like in the day in the life kind of things. We're down to 3. We only have 3 hens. And we want to redo the chicken lot, and then we would, get more chickens. But as far as showing them, the reason we've never done like a chicken video or how to do it or whatever is because it is raining now, Matt. There's so many people doing that. And I don't know. How do you explain it, Matt? Probably you wouldn't be impressed with what we do. It's the best way to say it. It's not, the chickens are well took care of. And like, we've never lost a chicken to a predator or anything. They kill each other sometimes because chickens are mean in the past, but they're very healthy and all that. But ours is just very simple setup, and people get so excited about the chickens, want them to live in a chicken condominium instead of a chicken coop. And
yeah, they get a little bit. I mean, we're just old,
and we're
old timey people, and,
yeah,
and our chickens are
just chickens.
They're in a lot, and they're just like what my grandpa and my great grandpa had, and it ain't nothing pretty to look at all, but it keeps them in and it keeps them dry. So
yeah. They have a place they go up at night. We shut the door, all that, but it's just not, people would, I mean, for us, since that's not our main thing, is like teaching about chickens. In one way, it's like people would just tell us everything we were doing wrong, even though we've had them for, years and years and years, or either tell us what we should do, anyway, it's just like, we're not chicken experts. That's not our goal. I guess we are chicken experts. We've had them for years, and they feed us eggs, and we've managed to keep them alive and all that. But Susie, thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you too, Susie. Thank you. Anyway, it's just, when you put yourself out on YouTube, you get a lot of criticism, and there's some stuff, of course, is fine, especially constructive criticism is fine. But then the whole chicken thing, we just think of all the things people's going to complain about or criticize us about. And in one way, it's just like, it's not worth it, because we're not going to teach you about chickens anyway. There's so many people out there doing that. You could find out, people feed them the minerals and they do all this and very specific and particular about it. And we're not those people. But we do like our chickens. We love the eggs that they provide for us.
One of them chickens, every time I go in the lot, she comes and runs to me like a dog.
Yeah.
And will jump up on my foot.
Yeah.
And stand there and look straight up at me. And then I've picked her up and fooled with her. And the other ones are a little bit skittish, but she's, for whatever reason, ever since she was a little chick, she's always liked me for some reason.
And years ago, when we first got them, probably 15 years ago now or something, 15 years ago.
Nearly 15 years.
Daddy said, you won't never be able to keep them alive. Things will, in the woods, things will get them and all that. But Mr. Matt here has kept them alive. We've never lost one to things like that. They've tried. They try constantly. They have a coop, and then they have a run, and they try constantly to get in there. In the run, mostly is where they're at night. John, thank you so much, John. And I didn't. How do I go back up? I missed one. Also, I've lost my train of thought now.
Talking about the chickens.
Yeah, they try to get in there at night, mostly, but the chickens would stay from them anyway because they're inside the house. But then they tear up the run. So, but we've proved Daddy wrong on that. We've not lost. He just was like, they'll wipe you out in 2 weeks. You won't have no chickens left.
And those things getting in the run and tearing up the fence, they get relocated too.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah. NE1 can garden. Thank you so much. That was the other one. Thank you and John both so much. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. April says dogs got my chickens, and I live in the middle of a small town. It was devastating. Yeah, that's tough.
That's another thing we'd have a problem with if we let them
If
run
we
loose.
let them loose,
Because we got dogs.
Yeah, and we do have lots of animals. Papa's right about that. We've just Matt's been able to keep them out. Yeah, keep them out of it. Oh, that's sweet. Lisa says that YouTuber chicken by the lake, maybe she reads books to her chickens when they're not laying. Why don't you go out there and read to ours, Matt?
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Yeah. Roland says we have red fox and black bears in the yard every night. Not a friendly chicken environment. No, I don't guess so. Oh, Tim, thank you. Y'all make gardening look easy. We don't, there's lots about gardening that we don't know, and we're certainly not experts at it, but we just please ourselves is the way we look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Alicia, love you guys. How's my grandma? Love her. Granny's doing pretty good. She was feeling kind of puny last week and not feeling good. Oh, Randy, thank you so much. Thank you, and God bless you too. But she wasn't feeling very good, and I was kind of worried about her. But she's perked up over the weekend, and Paul and his little band he's got now went and played at somewhere locally, and she went and listened to them, and then she felt good enough to come to church Sunday. So those were both good. She was feeling a little better. MCE says, I've got a pack of coyotes that run around our property and can't have any outside animals. We don't have as many coyotes that we hear now as we used to, did we? I mean, that we can hear. We don't see them, but we hear them.
I would imagine they're probably still here. I mean, you can't they're like roaches. You can't get rid of them. But we used to hear them howling a whole lot more than we do now. And I think something over here on this farm's changed, and the people are out in the fields more than what they once were. And because we used to hear them from the top of the big cow pasture back here, real often hear them howling right at dark. And I've heard them just occasionally now, but not near as much as we used to. But they're still around.
Years ago, you were talking about you couldn't have outside animals because of that. Years ago, oh gosh, time goes by so fast, Matt. What's it been? 20 years? 20 years. We had a little beagle, Wilma, sweetest dog ever, and the coyotes got her. It was horrible. And Matt was gone. I don't remember where he was gone. He was gone somewhere.
I was out of town working.
Yeah, working or something. And I took her to the vet, and as soon as I took her, he's like, there's probably nothing I can do, but you want to leave her, I'll do my best. And so I did. And he called me, like, I don't remember if it's later that day or whatever, and told me that she died. And did I want him to dispose of her? I was like, no, I'll come get her. And since Matt was out of town, that was when Granny was much sprier, of course. And I remember Katie and Corey was young, of course they were crying and I was crying. And Paul dug the hole out here in the back, and even Granny come to her little funeral we had for her, and we buried her. But she was the sweetest one. But the coyotes got her, and because she was a beagle, she would chase stuff and chase rabbits and stuff, and of course that just attracted her sound attracted them to her. Anyway, good old Wilma, she was a good one. We had her when the girls were little. And she was a funny little beagle, and she was an outside dog, but we would let her come in at night and come downstairs in the basement. And in the winter, she didn't want to come in. You about had to make her, and she'd get under the wood heater over here. But she was funny. She would not eat if you were watching her. Like, you could give her a steak, and she would just look at you and just look and wait patiently till you left, and then she'd eat.
Mm-hmm.
She was funny. Ken, I saw a comment from Ken. You were asking me about Lucky. Lucky passed away. It's been a while now, ain't it, Matt? Like at least a month or two, something like that. But Lucky, Green's brother, did die. It's been longer than that. I said a month or two. His funeral, they had his funeral like delayed. Months. It's been a while. Because I was thinking about his funeral, but then I remembered they put his funeral off till April. Was that April, I guess? Mm-hmm. And he had died back in, I don't remember, January, maybe. Oh, Lynn, I'm sorry. Yeah. Coyotes are mean like that. And I'm sure they was just laying in wait for little Wilma. And she was a little beagle, fairly little. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We remember where we got Wilma from
Yeah.
Buster and Aline. I remember going over there and picking her out and bringing her home. She's just a little bitty one, little bitty girl. Oh, Betty, thank you. Glenn says, if you don't like how your life is going, remember, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Oftentimes we need to shake up things and change our lives a little bit, especially if you're doing something that's hurting you or hurting those around you. Or So what you got to do the rest of the week, Matt?
Well, I was going to work some more on the shed, and we got lots and lots of weeding to do in the big garden.
Yeah, we do have that.
And that'd be more than take up the rest of the week.
Matt told me today he noticed he was down at the big garden working some, and that he noticed we had beans down there. So we're going to have to go check on the beans, go see. He thinks there's enough for a mess.
Yeah, they was them peanut beans. They're almost big enough to eat. They ain't a great deal of them, but the ones that are there are 3-4 inches long.
Yeah, we're going to have to go. We're going to have to go get them. Tim says, is the other half of the roof on? It is. Yeah, finally. So finally, we'll share a video of that maybe towards the end of the week. But
so it's actually in the dry, and the tractor's sitting under it.
Yeah, and which was nice with this rain. Yeah. Nice. The tractor's underneath it. Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you for watching. I'm glad to have you. We're about to let you all go. We've been talking for almost an hour now, so we'll let y'all go, and we hope that you have a good week. Ben Rose says, have you grown any cucamelons in your garden? They taste like cucumber with a hint of lime to me. Is that those little bitty tiny ones? If it is, we have grown those before. If it's the little bitty ones. And I'll tell you a funny story. If it is those, I grew them, and I thought that I just didn't realize they were little. So I thought they were going to be look like that, but be big. And then when they started growing and they were all just that little, I thought, what is wrong with my cucumbers? They will not get any bigger. And then somehow I figured it out, and I was like, oh, they're not supposed to get any bigger. So, anyway, we did plant them, and they had a good taste, but I didn't plant them again after that. Lynn says, canning dry beans today. Got all 3 grandsons this evening. Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. We need to can some more dried beans because I think we have one little jar left. Or maybe I opened that. May not have none left.
You better get busy.
Yeah, I better. Yeah, I better get busy. Well, we're going to let all of you go. Thank you so much for spending time with us this evening. And thank you for helping us get to 300,000. That's so amazing. We can't hardly believe it. So look out for a video on that. We hope to share a video about that later this week, I think. Right, Matt?
I think so.
Yeah. And we hope you have a wonderful week. Hope you have a wonderful week. And we'll see you in a video, and then we'll see you next Monday night. We love you all. Bye-bye.